Welcome to the Windy City Bender Podcast with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, Jarom, and Tanner.
All right, welcome to episode 94 of the Windy City Bender Podcast. It is the Yannick Perreault, a.k.a. Corona, taking over the world taking our hockey away from us, so you get to listen to us just talk about stupid shit for the next, 12 years, because who knows how long this is fucking gonna happen.
Yeah, we're gonna get into sewing. Gonna mend this league back together.
So today we got, as usual, Tanner. Tanner, how you doing, bud?
Oh, just fine and unemployed, full-time podcasting now.
Should not be laughing at you like that, but
It's funny. It's funny. Like, what am I supposed to do?
And again with us, filling in, the one, the only, Meegan. How you doing, bud?
Off the bench, boys. I'm always here for you. Sixth man. How you guys doing?
He's playing the penalty kill. We're men down. He's on the penalty kill.
I will do that all day. If it gets my name on there. Give it just an honorable mention. Like,
I will say how dedicated he is to this, that he gets on and he goes and he's walked around his room multiple times trying to find the perfect background.
Yeah, that's a beautiful painting.
It's my girlfriend's place, so she's like, how's it supposed to look? And I was like shit. It's supposed to look like shit, because we're like every single time it's like me like up on the screen like, oh hey guys, how's it going? I've never done a fucking podcast before or used Skype of any sort.
Like an ASMR podcast like combination.
Tanner's gonna have some fun with his full-time podcasting job.
Yeah, man. I am not good at social media, so.
So when we finished off last episode, I think the last thing that was said was, Tanner, man, they're probably gonna have to shut the thing down for player safety, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
No, it was. I mean, I know a lot of people are getting mad. They don't want it to happen, but when player safety comes to it, like, they gotta do it. And then they did, and I fucking hate it. I never should have said anything.
It's been.
And now Radulov has it.
Radulov has it.
Radulov has it. Yeah.
Really? I thought it was.
Yeah, I got at least that's what I got in the from the Score app earlier today. It said Radulov was confirmed for the coronavirus.
Wow, I heard that.
So it's in the NHL.
Ottawa player.
But it's like everywhere in the NBA apparently. Like the Nets had it, the Jazz had it.
Yeah, because that fucking asshole on the Jazz.
Yeah, what an idiot.
There was some stat about, I know we're fucking talking basketball right now, but there was some stat that you can connect every single team in the NBA through him over like a 5-day period.
What a douche.
So the entire league I'm surprised the entire league doesn't have it. Oh, yeah, the Bulls are like on fucking quarantine, like, as a team right now.
Yeah, like, I mean, the NHL told all the players to go home and self-quarantine. And I was saying before, I was like, I just heard that the one player on Ottawa has it, and they didn't really go into detail about it. But you know what? Before all that happened, guess what? Blackhawks played the Sharks. Last game of the season for
last game of the year.
And it was while we were recording the last episode, and when we finished recording, they were losing 1-0. Guess what? They fucking won 6-2. Why not? Fucking Jesus Christ. I can't believe it. Like, what happened that was really funny, it was like I was looking stuff up on my phone while we were doing the podcast, and my phone died. And I was like, oh shit. And then I was like spending time with my girlfriend even though the game was on, like we weren't watching it. I put my phone on the charger, turn it on like a half hour later, and it's just like goal, 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 goal. I was like, what the fuck just happened? What is going on?
I think like the best thing too about that, it was like the next day, but it was like right when the team, like, I discussed DeBrincat. I actually didn't watch it because I was editing the episode, but DeBrincat and Nylander, people were saying it was their best game of the season, and someone's like, yeah, of course the league gets canceled after Nylander, DeBrincat come out with the best performance.
They were scared. They were coming for him from the playoffs. Meegan,
Like, if they,
how was it?
Dude, it was pretty goddamn insane, honestly. Like, I went in there thinking like, oh, it's gonna be like two teams just battling it out that don't have anything to play for, and you're just gonna see like they went out and it was pretty intense. I mean, Evander Kane had like what? I think he had like 4 or 6 penalty minutes in the game, or like he was just he's out there doing what he does, right? And then like just watching them move the puck was just like it actually looked like a really good hockey game. You're like, you would have never thought that either one of those teams were so far down. I mean, the Sharks, you would have never thought the Sharks were that far down.
Yeah,
like in the standings.
Like but the parts that I did catch, I know they probably seemed like he had like 4 or 6 penalty minutes because of how aggressive he was playing, but he only had 2 penalty minutes. But he was all over the place when I was watching. Yeah.
Dude, he was fucking going after everybody. Like he was like Nylander would skate by and he's yelling at Nylander. Nylander like looked confused. You're like, what the fuck? You're like, why are you yelling at Nylander? This guy is like still trying to figure out how to play the game of hockey right now.
Yeah, that's when Nylander decided.
You're like confusing him.
Swedish.
Yeah, he's like,
oh, yeah. Huh?
What? I don't know. Don't know English. Yeah, that's what he was doing. Yeah, but it was a really good game. Like who I was really excited about was Bowden. That kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was his first call up.
Fucking play.
Can you imagine?
He was stuff that you like see Boquist and you're like, okay, yeah, it's good for him. And you see Bowden, you're like, this is only your second game in the NHL. Like,
was it a second?
That was his first.
I thought it was a second. I thought he played the game before, but it was away.
All right.
No, he got called up.
He got called up. Second, right? No, that was his first game.
Was it his first game? Okay, yeah. And he's just like he's making these like simple plays, like just a little quick like transition with the hips and turn, and he would like to pull to the outside, open up a lane where 2 guys are chasing him, and you're like, wow, like such a good like little transition that a 19-year-old, 18-year-old should not know how to do.
Bowden played, so he played one game during the CPHL this past summer, and you can tell that he was able to. Like, he had all those, like, the good positioning out there. He's able to move, like, do the little things that you're not going to pick up, like, on the stat sheet. Like, I know I say that a lot with, like, Tays. Like, oh, he's so good, but because what he does doesn't come up on the stats. But it really makes a huge difference, especially the defensive position. And this kid is got the skill that he is going to be a dangerous player out there for us on that D-core.
I think it's helpful, too, that he was drafted the same year as Boquist because, like, all eyes are on Boquist. And, like, Bowden's just kind of flying under the radar. And he's got, like, no pressure, really, unless it's, like, from the front office. But, like, the fans are like, Boquist is amazing. And, like, the hardcore fans know about Bowden.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, like, he's going to be good. Like, I've been excited for him. Like, I always felt like he was going to have like, a better chance at, like, making more of an impact with like the less pressure on him because he was a later first round pick. He's still a first round pick, which is fucking awesome.
Seeing how good that he could potentially be, like that he's got this high ceiling, it definitely makes the losing Yokiharu a little bit easier. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I fucking would have loved to have all 3 of them, but the fact that, we still have 2 out of the 3, I mean, it definitely like, put your mind at rest a little bit that, okay, the D-core is going to be fucking solid in the future.
So we have Ian Mitchell coming in too.
Yeah.
That's
what is it?
It's key that those 2 guys are coming in the league together. And then Ian Mitchell, like you said, like they are going to complement each other all so well. But now we have like now you're looking back, like who did we have 10 years ago now that was coming up? And it was like Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook, and then you had Jarmelson. Like everyone kind of found their roles, but like that's what you like. You start seeing guys that like grow through and develop, and that's what teams are basing all of their drafts now. They're like, well, everyone we need to develop, and you got a number of years before you can develop them, as opposed to like getting free agents and stuff, which we were talking about last time I was on. So now you're starting to see it. Right, with the Blackhawks, and we were just kind of ripping on them, and now you're actually getting to see a couple guys like Kirby Doc. Like, yeah, he's in the show, but in 3 years, you're gonna be like, man, that kid was sick, wasn't he? And
he shows the sickest flashes of like just the stick handling, and then just the takeaways as well, and the way that he keeps the puck away from players. You're like, there's no fucking way that this kid's only 19 years old. Like.
Hey, Kirby, because I know you're listening to this, I apologize for being pissed that we took you 3rd overall. I was just confused and shocked because your name never came up. I fucking love you, man. Like you're fucking so
Going
good.
Turcotte
Yeah.
who?
Yeah, who?
Yeah, you might want to wipe off your lips there. You got a little something on your nose too.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh man,
Like this
you
kid.
were that mad when we picked him?
I wasn't mad. I was just because all you heard going up to the
Bewildered.
draft was Byram and Turcotte and just how high the ceiling were for those two guys. And I honestly didn't hear anything about Kirby leading up to the draft until literally like 20 minutes before the draft started. It was like, oh, word the Blackhawks are taking Kirby Dach. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of those ones that you look down and you're like 27th and you're like, why the fuck is he ranked 27th on the board and we're taking him that high?
Yeah.
I thought he was top 5.
No, one more. Yeah, he was top 5 on one, and there was some other one that I think it was like 20.
One, he was like not
Yeah.
even like going to be first round player. They're like, he's way too slow. He's like
Yeah.
a moose. Like he doesn't skate. Like, and that was what I was looking at. And I was like, I saw the highlights of him. Like, yeah, he looks slow,
Yo.
but he's also so big of a person that like his speed looks longer because everything is
Yeah,
just
he's
so
got those
much
long
bigger, right?
strides. He's got-
Yeah, he
kinda
doesn't have to do
kinda like
very
Malkin.
much to go fast.
I'm saying like Malkin. Malkin's pretty fast. He's just a long guy. He doesn't look like he's moving fast, but he fucking
Mhm.
motors.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're just
Very-
like a fucking Saskatoon Blades hater or some shit. Just not about the dock, bro.
Your logo hasn't changed since 1973. Fuck this team.
Right though. I like those jerseys.
They are pretty sweet, aren't they?
Kind of makes me think
You
of like a
should-
roller rink.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh man.
So
Like-
if that was the last hurrah for the Blackhawks season,
Kubilak gets 30.
yeah,
You
did
know? Yeah, he got 30.
he? What did Kane finish?
Shoot.
31?
Huh?
Did Kane finish
Kane
with
finished
31?
like 31 or 32. But Kubilak got his 30th goal on the 6th goal of the game. Kaner got 33 on the season so far. Yeah. Fucking that I thought DeBrincat was fucking pretty sick when he put 28 in his rookie year.
God, let's just hope that he doesn't have the DeBrincat effect and just,
What, score more goals next year and then
No, but I'm just saying like because his kid, he's got to. No, I'm saying like because he's got to get paid.
Fuck
He's
your
gotta get paid
sophomore
this
slump.
year. He's got to get paid this year.
Yeah,
That's the issue. So it's like, is he gonna get paid and then it's gonna drop off kind of thing?
Maybe.
But
If we're lucky, they don't have a playoffs to go into and get more money. That's not lucky.
Yeah,
or
we'll
the
talk about-
rest of the
yeah,
season.
we'll talk about that.
Like,
Yeah,
No,
we'll
we
talk about
need
that in a second.
playoffs.
But so say this is so with the way these rookies or these young guys, I think the older the vets and all that, they can get right back into this if the season were to somehow come back. How do you think that's gonna like affect like these younger guys, you know, being offered like laid off, especially like you got Nylander and DeBrincat who just come off like probably their best game of the season. Do you think it's gonna be like any like negative effect, or do you think they are gonna be able to pick it right back up?
I think that the younger guys will take it better than the older guys.
Mhm.
I think the
I
older
agree. I
guys
totally
need
agree.
a little bit more of like a training camp to like pick it back up, and the younger guys are so much more like fresh and like sure it will be like maybe a little rough at first, but their legs will probably stay under them like a little bit quicker than like the older guys, you know, be moving around.
I think you're gonna if it does like when it does come back, we're gonna be like, okay, everyone gets 2 weeks to train. Like here you go, just like here's 2 weeks, season starting in 2 weeks. Everyone come to like another training camp and it's just gonna be like get back in shape. And I think like you're gonna see so much better hockey just overall, not even like the disparity between like older veteran players and like younger players. I think everyone's gonna come back better, but the younger players have like so much more fire in them. Like
Yeah,
you said, like they only got 40 games under now, 50 games under them. Some of these
True.
guys, like, what's that?
Sometimes it's a good break though for like the younger guys because like usually it's hard for them to go the whole 82 game season. You see them like tail off at some point because they never played that many games. So this could be like a really good break where it's like, all right, you're approaching games like 70 plus and you're like, man, I haven't played like this many games in a season, especially for a rookie like Kirby Dach. And then it's like, okay, now you get all this time off, you know, some self-love at home. And, and
Self-love.
then you
Their legs are gonna be so loose from just like just like banging their girlfriends the entire fucking time they're
Yeah,
out.
right.
You're gonna be like, God, come on, man, you couldn't do anything else. They're like, no, man, I'm 19 years old. What did you expect? Like, have you
So
seen her? She's
fucking
a Swedish
cute.
model. I'm not gonna go anywhere. Like, we're stuck in the house. This is what is going to happen.
Hey, Dr. Oz said if you're stuck with your significant other, best thing for you to do is to bang it out. So he's a doctor.
That's some
Dr.
good
Short,
advice.
so, you know.
That's some good. I'm gonna start watching Dr. Oz a little bit more now.
There's only one Oz I like, and it's the Wizard.
The Wizard. Oh God.
Oh my God. So a little bit of like development has like changed like since we kind of started recording like from today is that originally the plan I think was for them to reassess March 30th about what was going on. They were going to start like a training camp like the first week of April, like a mini training camp like you were saying, Meegan, to get going. Now that there's potentially at least 2 players in the NHL that have tested positive for the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Radulov was tested. He wasn't confirmed. Sorry.
Wasn't confirmed. Okay, so potentially he might have it. There's allegedly there's a player on the Ottawa Senators. They're not saying which player. There also is confirmed case in the Vancouver front office of a management person that had one. It got confirmed case for it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that it seems like it's dripping into the league, and it's starting to affect the players. It could potentially be affecting the players. You might not see that early turnaround, and you're going to be looking at possibly what the players proposed earlier this week, that you do training camp end of June, early July. Then you do the season from July to August, playoffs August to September. October would be the draft and free agency, and then you go right into the next season in November.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds wild as hell to me.
I would honestly, I was actually thinking about this earlier. Like, if you could change the season and they're just like, hey, we're going to do 20 games, or 16 games. Like, you only play everyone in your conference one time, right? Like, everyone gets 16 games or 15 games, whatever it may be. And then that's the end of the season. Then we just see where the standings are, because you're really only playing important games. Like, I would rather see a tournament. Let's see everyone just round robin. You get 32 games, and then you just seed it 1 through 8, and then everyone just like one game, like just see what, or like a 3-game series, something like that. Because then it's only going to be 3 months,
Yeah.
that you're filling up, and you have all of the intensity of playoffs. You basically have a March Madness. But like, what would you guys think? Like, if you could change anything about it, instead of playing 82 games and then doing a shortened playoff. What would you change? Like,
are you talking about like a new season, or to finish this current season?
Finish this current season. Like, play the only meaningful games that are left, and that's in your division or in your conference. If you've played all your conference games, you play or just play your division.
There's only battle out your division. 12 games left for most teams. Like, you're not going to go out and play 16 or 30 games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's really just finishing out the season. And if they really wanted to, they could just finish out maybe up to 75 or so, and make sure all the teams play up to 75, and then start a playoff from there. Just shorten the amount of games that they have to play.
Yeah.
I almost
going a full 82.
I almost think though that they should do basically any team that's within 4 to 6 points of the playoffs. They focus on those teams. You got I just don't know.
6 points within the playoffs.
Yeah,
I just don't know if it makes sense to bring back Detroit.
No,
Ottawa.
Detroit's already playoff ineligible.
That's what I'm saying.
But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about revenue for them? If you take everyone, if you take 28 teams and you're 28 teams are contending, those other 6 teams or 5 teams.
Where is your math at?
You're gonna go 4 teams.
What the fuck?
So you got 28 teams fighting for playoffs, and then there's 4 teams that are just wait. What are you talking about? We can't play any games because we're
adding
that
32,
bad.
man.
We need money. We need money for these.
You're still adding 32.
31. 30. 31.
So 28 and 3.
Stupid.
28 and 3. 28 and 3. Yeah.
So What happens is you eliminate Detroit because they're already ineligible, and you do a different single round fucking play in, and then a wild card into like the regular playoffs or something like that.
All right,
You
I
have
gotta pull these
15
standings up.
teams, or you actually have like I don't know 14 fucking teams that are like sitting outside of a playoff spot, and one that is already playoff ineligible. Like they can't make it no matter what. So
Yeah.
just take
But
those
like
four
as an owner, they are like, hey, I'm
play
losing
each
12
other.
games of revenue
So right now,
still here.
right
Yeah.
now, a wild
Like I have
card
TV
spot.
and
Games of revenue.
yeah. But say if you like that team that isn't going to make playoffs, you have to still kind of have them play
Yeah,
because they still need home games to equal out the like as an owner they're not going to give up that revenue. They're not. The beer sales, the merchandise, all that stuff.
Fuck
What's
it.
that?
You can revenue share the little play in and wild card shit into the regular
Okay.
playoffs, and then it's the playoff teams.
So everyone gets a fair share. It's just Detroit can't bring any in.
I have
Right.
I have the standings right here. So for the East right now, a wild card spot is 81 points.
I mean, this is not going to fucking happen, but
So, but listen, so it makes zero sense to bring in Detroit, who's got 39 fucking points, Ottawa 62, New Jersey 68, Buffalo 68, and Montreal 71. It makes zero sense for any of those teams to even participate in any possible thing.
if they're still not completely eliminated from the playoffs, you can't eliminate them just because it doesn't make sense. Because anything could fucking happen. Fucking LA Kings were on like a 7-game win streak. And I know
I saw that.
but LA Kings were on like a 7-game fucking win streak before this whole thing went down. Detroit had just beaten a bunch of fucking teams, even though they're already eliminated. I'm just saying, like, that's an example of like lower in the standings teams have been making some runs, and it's not completely like unplausible that like one of those teams make a fucking run and finish as a bubble team instead. So you can't just eliminate them when they're not mathematically eliminated.
What would you say to just, okay, the teams that are sitting in a playoff spot now, boom, that starts the playoffs as soon as puck drops? Again,
Well, that's the problem with that is the points percentage, because the teams there's a few teams sitting outside the playoffs that have a higher points percentage, but they have less games played, therefore they're not in the playoff position right there. I think that's either it's hard to go off of points percentage because you can't take those teams that are in a playoff spot out, because you never would have known if like the 2 games that they have in hand would have been losses. And you can't know if there would have been wins. Like you can't just go off a playoff, or you can't go off points percentage, but you can't go straight off of points because it's not fair when all the teams haven't played the same amount of games. So that's like, you have to have like some sort of play in. Like there has to be some sort of play in.
Yeah. I think you said it earlier with like 75 games or something like that. Like if everyone plays the same amount of games, it would make sense. Like everyone gets but if you're going to do that, why wouldn't the league just say, we're going to do 82 games, and then we're going to do a shortened playoff? So instead of a 7-game series, we're going to do a condensed 5, or like the first round, do a 3-game.
Yeah, but you can take
I don't see like, because we're not starting until the middle of June, right? For guys to come back. So
but you can shorten
in order for that, or you just because we all know playoffs. Like, what's that?
I think it would just be a better idea, like monetarily, to shorten a season.
Yeah.
For the NHL to shorten a season and have regular length playoffs, because the playoffs is what everybody wants to fucking see anyway. They don't give a shit. Like sometimes, like Buffalo doesn't make the fucking playoffs, but they're like number 1 in fucking like TV ratings like all the time for NHL. Like people want playoffs. I like a lot of teams. Like who gives a shit when they're already eliminated like fucking 4 or 5 games out of like the final game. Like cool.
I could not stand Boston and St. Louis in the final last year, but I still watch every fucking game.
Right. Like I fucking it's playoff hockey is what people want, and that's what we really, I mean, if we come back to hockey, that's what we should get.
Would you so let me ask this too. Would you guys rather them just call this season, call it dead, it's not coming back, get a full season next year, or try to finish this season and maybe work a shortened season next year to get back on track?
I'm kind of thinking that among all of the shit that's going on, I don't think there's a way they're going to finish the season this year. I just don't know what they're going to do for like the draft, like how that's going to be decided, or if it's going to be just based off of standings, or if they'll still do a lottery. There's got to be a lottery at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
I think
now
you
do
still
teams
gotta.
like miss the lottery, and like do teams get like seeded differently? Is like Boston automatically 31? Because 31
I think you
like a winner.
I think you do a 31 team lottery.
Yeah, do you think they get like a fucking half a chance, like a half a percentage of a chance or something?
Yeah. Or maybe make rules where it's like, team 25 through 31 can't move up to the top 10, or, like set some sort of rules like that.
Yeah, you could possibly do like two different lotteries where it's like teams 1 through 14 or 1 through 15 like have the regular lottery, and then teams like 16 to 31 do like a later like playoff round lottery where
I like that idea. I think that would actually work like probably the best. Is
I think that
well,
would
at least
be...
you're gonna make a playoff, or you're gonna try and make a playoff. You're gonna end up in the middle of the pack anyways. Wouldn't you like? It doesn't really matter. I know it kind of screws over teams to like do that. Like if you're team 15 and
that would actually be...
I like that idea.
A 31
team
team draft would be draft lottery would be awesome. I think that would just be like, oh shit, what is going on?
2 different draft, and then you do the first one on Friday night, second one on Saturday. Yeah.
Well, Arizona's
literally you just start the draft the next day. You just start the draft the next day. That's it. Like you don't get time to prepare.
Arizona's already gonna get the first pick because they have Taylor Hall, so we know that. But it's gonna be some voodoo ass shit where like Boston will get like the second pick for some fucking reason.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I like the two because teams like Washington should never like Washington and like Boston and like Winnipeg. Screw you. You get enough. Like you're so far up in the standings right now. You don't. Why am I even giving you a fucking chance? You shouldn't even be able to get 16.
What kills me is that there's not even a team technically clinch for the playoffs yet.
Oh, that's weird.
I think that's why they might just cancel the season and be like, hey, sorry. Or if you do a shortened season, because they still want to make enough revenue, and they're like the draft and everything, you can just basically, you don't have to end the season. Like the NBA technically doesn't really draft, like, isn't it like NBA or MLB? Like they don't draft until the season's already started for the next year. So they are picking kids that can't play until next year anyways. Yeah.
MLB
so like
draft.
What's that?
MLB does a mid-season
draft. It's like the first week of June or something like that. And then
why are you drafting then? Like
you can do it in the NHL.
There's nothing to say you can't.
The issue with the MLB draft in mid-season is they have to sign their players by August 31st, or else they lose them, or they go back into the draft.
Well, some players go back to college and shit.
Yeah,
they can re-enter the draft the next year, which is like that's cool. But they also have like fucking 18 rounds of like the draft or some shit.
So like, why couldn't you say like, oh, we're gonna play the season, but how about we start the restart of the season on draft day and be like, hey, we're gonna do the first round, and then we have Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, or not Winnipeg, Washington, Pittsburgh, or someone playing like the Hawks in Pittsburgh because they love those fucking markets, right?
Outdoor games. That's all it is. It's outdoor games only. Only outdoor games once they're
only outdoor games. Everybody has to host one now.
Blackhawks gonna host all of them.
So you keep talking about revenue, bringing in revenue. That's why they got to find a way to get the season up.
Everybody wants revenue.
So
I want revenue. That'd be great.
So can we
lots of revenue?
Can we say fuck this at least one team about revenue is the Boston Bruins?
Boston. Yeah.
They're the only team in the league to not set up anything for their part-time workers.
Well, did Winnipeg and Calgary end up starting?
Yeah.
They did?
Everybody did, except for
everybody for Boston.
The teams that are just like, we're not going to do it. And then everybody's like, what the fuck are you? Who the fuck do you think you are, you dumb motherfucking billionaire? Like, are you kidding me? Like, do you want no one to work for you at all ever?
Yeah. The guy's worth like $3.6 billion, something like that.
Yeah. Boston. And you know what's crazy too, and that I kind of enjoy, is it like seeing it all over Reddit, and all the Boston fans are like, "Yeah, fuck that guy." I'm like, "All right, well, that's the one thing."
They hate him too.
Like, fuck, man, you're right.
He pays half the fucking city, but yeah, they all hate him.
Yeah, somebody online said that he got his wealth from concessions, and he's
Yeah.
not paying
The concession workers.
concession workers. Like, what? Can you imagine?
Yeah,
being-
don't they have a GoFundMe page? Like that's
Yeah,
their
there's a
paying
GoFundMe
employees.
for
It's
it,
a
yeah.
GoFundMe page. Like you're a professional sports team and you don't have enough money to pay these guys. Like
What's
Like,
really
Vancouver
cool?
had players paying
Yeah,
they were paying $100,000 to cover it. Like, are you kidding me? Like
I was gonna say
like,
what's really cool about how this all kind of got started was Bobrovsky actually was, I think, the first one to chip in 100,000, and then he was also auctioning off his jersey and giving the proceeds to that too, and then it just kind of snowballed for it. But I think you said it, Tanner, in the group chat or somebody, that Bobrovsky was 1% of his contract.
1% of his contract, his yearly contract. It's $100,000 is 1 fucking percent.
That is ridiculous.
Can you imagine giving 1% of your salary to charity? They'd probably
Dude,
just
his
like,
agent makes more than
why,
that.
Why would you put this on a check? This check costs more than your fucking 1% of your salary. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, 1% of his fucking salary.
No.
Fucking insane.
His agent makes 10%. Easily 10 to 12%, right? And
Yeah.
he's like, hey, I'll just give that 1%. But like if Steph Curry or somebody else did that, like right out of the gate, like it'd be like $2.5 million. Like,
Well, you know how percentage? Yeah, your math game is wrong. It's
it's way
not
wrong.
the math guy.
not the math guy today at all. Ever.
Is
Not the
Florida-
math guy ever.
Is Florida
huge
no,
math guy.
is Florida no income tax too?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
no state tax.
Oh yeah, no
Oh.
state tax. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, so I mean, it's really great and it's awesome that he did it because that is a huge amount of money for a lot of people, but that's only 1% to him. It's probably just like, yeah, just I don't know, give him $100,000. Is that cool? Is that
yeah,
fine?
you said that, and I'm like thinking of like all the Florida Panthers fans that are like, we're paying him that fucking much for the shit show he put up this year. Like,
Yeah, I drafted him. What a fucking bonehead move by me.
Year's not over, boys. Oh, yeah, here? I got a question for anybody that's listening that plays fantasy hockey. What's everybody gonna do? What is everybody gonna do about their like finish? Like,
I don't know.
Who's gonna be crowned a champion?
I don't know, Commissioner. What are we gonna do?
I think for our league it should be head on head shell. Just have a tournament, and then that's how you determine it. If there's no season, if there's no season.
Hey, listen
So
to this.
you guys really are friends.
Yes. Listen to this though, Kevin.
What?
I proposed when we all get together, we do have NHL 20 with us. What we do is we each create our own team that has our current fantasy players, and then you take that team, you edit the lines so that they have just only your fantasy players on them. So like all the lines are just your fantasy players, and then we do whatever our head-to-heads were for the rest of the playoffs, simulated, and we watch and drink.
I would be down. I would come just for that. I would come just watch.
There's no skill involved at all for the video game. It's all up to chance, just like how fantasy is supposed to be.
And we just watch the simulated games. Yeah, I'm totally down for that.
Watch the computer, play the computer, and whatever team wins is the team that moves on in the playoffs. And
all 18.
We do a case race by round.
doing-
Then at that point, bring back the old case races that we used to do.
Now here's the big question: are you doing all 8 teams, or are you just doing playoff eligible teams?
playoff eligible teams.
Okay.
Playoff eligible. I'm out.
But
I'm out. Come on. Ping, these ankles are breaking again, like always. First year out of the playoffs, though. I will say that.
Poetzy and Meegan can still have their head-to-head to see who finishes 7th. Therefore, who gets
They
the
can
Dude, I got fucking. I
highest
got
line.
Connor McDavid, Mitch Marner. Like my fucking team is stacked on paper, but it just did not work in fantasy.
Yeah.
Just did not work in fantasy.
You don't want to win that game. You want to get the first overall pick in the draft. You want to have the best chances.
No. Every year I get first overall pick.
I know, that's
fuck
bullshit.
It all up. I get Connor McDavid every single year, and I still don't fucking win.
It's always Meegan or Poetzy get first overall pick, and they never know how to use it right.
Dude, come on! You're telling me Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl? Those are literally my 2 fucking first picks, and I go, Connie Mack is gonna do it. He's gonna finally do it. Put the team on his
Let
back.
me ask you this: are you in the playoffs?
No, I'm not. No, I've
So it
never.
didn't work out
like,
for
this is
you.
only the
It
first year I
didn't-
missed the playoffs, though. I actually made it to the second round the first year, and I was last. I was last in the. I made it sixth in, and I got to the second fucking round. And then the next year, I traded all my players, and Tanner forgot to hit. We're using those draft picks.
Shut up.
I would have
whatever.
had. I would have had like 10 of the first 20 picks. It was fucking ridiculous.
I've never been so
Another
happy
fantasy
that
draft
fucked up.
podcast.
I was so pissed. I gave
just
away
wanna-
everybody.
I
And Tanner just
traded-
does this
Shut up.
intentionally to
I traded all my top 4 picks to win the championship that year, and I was like, "Fuck, this
Doesn't
draft
matter.
suck." And Tanner forgets to do it. I was so
Yeah.
happy.
I was shit
And then
faced.
Meegan gets sixth pick.
I was gonna say Kevin builds his fantasy team much like Edmonton, and he puts Connor McDavid and no one. So that's what I was gonna say.
Whoa. All right, come on. Mitch Marner in the second fucking round. You're telling me that's not a good pick to
All right.
get? And then he goes out for half the
Moving on.
goddamn season.
Moving on.
Yeah, fucking
Ridiculous.
nerd. Mitch Marner's a
Ridiculous.
nerd.
Oh, it's so funny.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So hockey.
Yeah, so we're all right. So league pause. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's too much more to say about that, right? Like, I think we kind of fucking hit it all.
Yeah. Well, now we can go into Hawks talk.
Yeah.
Well, is it okay? Back on just regular hockey, like just general. Everyone was just at the outdoor tournaments like the last month. So I wonder how much Corona actually spread just from that.
Oh shit.
Well, there already.
I just thought about that. Like Eagle River is massive.
Hey, there would already
Massive.
have to be Corona in that area, and like coronavirus didn't really strike any areas until like 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, but when were you guys at your tournament?
We were February, but we really didn't play.
Yeah, they had too much sun, and like
Yeah.
Oh,
our,
really?
Our ice
Okay.
melted. Yeah. So
Ah.
we essentially just paid to get fucking shit faced in the Rosemont Hotel. Like,
Okay. Yeah, because like the second Barstool one was only like 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
yeah.
Like that's what I mean. Like big things like that, like up in New Hampshire and Maine, that stuff's going on. It was supposed to happen like this weekend too. Like my old boss at the pro shop was like, "Yeah, we're going up to another tournament," and blah blah blah. And then
In fucking March?
yeah, like
Holy
fucking middle of
shit.
March up in Maine. Yeah, like just some small like 10-team tournament or 12-team tournament, like. But you know how the like men's league junkies are.
Yeah. All I know is I fucking hate coronavirus. We don't have any hockey to watch. No fucking hockey to play. We've had our beer league playoffs canceled. We've had our showcase like games for our summer league pushed off. Now our summer league might get pushed back because of we play out of the Blackhawks practice rink, and who knows when the hell that's gonna open up again. I just I fucking just
Do I
miss-
also need to mention I'm laid off as well? Fucker.
We're bitching about men's league hockey, and Tanner's just like, I don't even have a fucking job, guys.
Supposed to pay for 2 rents this month. Moving. And we thought it would be a good idea to make sure we got the new apartment to fucking rent it a month in advance. And so we're paying for the one we currently have and then the new one for April. Fucking
Oh my
brilliant.
God. Tanner, you can just be you and her can just be cam stars, I guess. Like that's the only
No.
thing you have left because you can't leave your house now, or
John-
just be traders. You can
So
be either
in-
be a stock trader or a cam girl.
In the-
podcast on my dick and then fucking be on a cam star thing.
So I'm
OnlyFans, baby.
yeah, I'm dropping
OnlyFans.
I'm dropping Tanner's OnlyFans link in the bio for this episode. $45 might seem like a
Can we
lot.
post his Venmo too for anyone that is?
I'll put my Venmo up there. I'll put my Amazon wish lists up there. Like, buy me shit.
Amazon's not shipping like non-essential stuff anymore.
Okay.
Apparently.
Yeah, but that's bullshit because my girlfriend just bought a chair and a table like
I went-
4 days ago, and
yeah,
it's
but-
coming. It just got shipped today. It's like
I went to go. Yeah, I went to
chair
go.
and table are not necessities.
I went to go order movies for the fucking weekend quarantine, and it's like, oh yeah, they won't get there till March 30th.
The weekend.
Oh
quarantine?
shit!
Yeah, yeah, because I got a fucking job.
Oh, that's right.
I got a
You?
fucking job selling hockey
You, bro?
equipment to sell hockey equipment in a time when there's not a single goddamn ice rink open.
Yo, that's when the nerds have too much time. Like those guys that are like, yeah, I really want that sweet curve. Like I'm gonna be so much better in my D2
It's
league.
good. It's good in a time of need when like maybe zombies are right after this. Like who knows what's happening in April. Like they just
And they're
need
just gonna go
protection.
Casey Jones on their asses, like pull out
Yeah,
the hockey stick and
oh,
the
yeah.
fucking old.
Honestly, if a zombie apocalypse were to happen, just throw on a fucking hockey helmet if they try and eat your brains. What's
Hockey
up?
gloves. I mean, you got. I mean, even the cross gloves can pass, but hockey gloves, you got a lot of, cushion
Visor.
in there.
So for the hockey helmet, do you wear visor? Do you wear birdcage?
Birdcage,
Birdcage all day.
or bubble, because then you can
Yeah,
just wipe
actually,
off the
bubble
blood.
would be better. This is what we just started to discuss because there's no fucking hockey. Is what kind of hockey equipment
It's
would you
day
wear?
4, guys. It's like day 4, day 4, day 5.
This is the first of many episodes that we're going to fill with no hockey. So we're off to a fucking fantastic start.
Week 12. You guys are gonna be like talking about The Bachelor from 3 seasons ago.
Don't even say the words week 12 to me. Like, we're not even past.
You already know it's gonna be like a couple months, so
They're saying it's 18. They're saying it's 18 months that this is going to
18
take.
months.
It's going to take.
But that's not
all
like
the pass.
lockdown. That's like
No. But they're saying like the whole like
Yeah.
Corona thing is supposed to be allegedly 18 months.
yeah, it's a pandemic, man.
I just want a job.
It's
Just want income, if that's cool. Hope that doesn't take 18 fucking months.
Broly the goalie webcam model. Let's go. The horse pass marathon's coming back.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking weird. Real weird. I gotta work out, but there's no gyms open, so yeah, let's move on back to hockey.
Hawks. Talk.
There is no hockey anymore.
Sidetracked. Yeah,
So-
there is.
The only really thing to come out for Hawk Stock is Rocky Wirtz was on the Blackhawks podcast, or he was talking to The Athletic. I think it was little.
I think it was The Athletic.
Yeah. Basically said they asked if there's going to be any management change, and he said that he believes in the upper management. He says that the job that they have is tough, but they are absolutely going to be coming back. So I don't know if he's saying that because he truly means it. He's saying that to put people's mind at ease during whatever the hell's going on right now. I don't think it's going to be that. I think he truly means it.
I mean, yeah, like he said that there's no question that they're coming back. Like, it's what it is. I
Yeah, but
know.
who's to say that they're not going to get fired in the middle of the season like every other front office staff and coach that's been happening over the past 3 years?
Yeah,
Like, if they start there, they're going to be like, hey, one more season and then this is it.
I
And
know I'm
then-
a noted Bowman hater, but like, at what point is it time to be like, okay, this isn't fucking working anymore?
do you think
I
that
think
the
it's-
coronavirus bailed him out?
No. I think that he was going to do this anyways.
Yeah.
Like they were gonna stick with these guys no matter what it was. They would probably maybe trade a couple of players because you want to start from the base up. They haven't really traded any like big guys outside of like Panarin in a couple of years. It's been 3 years now, 2 years since he got traded. So it's like now you start firing, and then he fired coaches, and now you start firing upper management. Now you start firing your scouts and your GM and that
Scouts
type of.
fantastic, I think.
Yeah, and
The
it's
scouts
like
are fine, yeah.
what do you do? You're drafting well, obviously. You're seeing these guys like produce, but now you give them like one more year and you're like, this is the year. If you in 8 weeks from the start of next season, if you're not competing or you're doing exactly what the Hawks did in 2007 when they just fired when Quinville came in, and it was like 6 weeks in the season, 4 weeks in the season, something like that. That's what they're gonna do.
2009.
They're gonna
That was 2008, 08, 09
eight,
season.
yeah. I was thinking it was like 7, 8. Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
8, 9, right?
Well,
And
yeah,
you do that. You wait like a month and a half into the season. You see if they're doing well. What's up?
So Canner had a year of Savard, and then Quinville came in. So
Yeah. So you fire Savard, but you keep him in the staff, and you just be like, you're not doing well at your job anymore. You know?
yeah, I mean, it's like everybody's gonna be fucking mad, and clearly, like that's the vibe of the entire organization. Is like everybody's fucking always mad. But it's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna fucking be mad the whole time? Like, that's the shit. Like, fuck, man. Like, maybe we don't get a season. Maybe we have the same GM. Like, that's the shit. It sucks. Guess what? I still root for the fucking team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know, like, what do you fucking want? Like, you want to try and change somebody's mind? Like, your opinion is like very low, which sucks. Like, these guys get a lot of money to make these decisions. And,
Wait, whose opinion are you talking
and-
about?
huh?
Whose opinion are you talking about?
Just like the general fan.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
it's-
you believe in the organization because you have Wirtz behind it, and he's one of those guys that I think as an owner, you're like, that's the guy you want. You want a
Well, I
guy who
think-
understands that he knows he has to be back, but he also has to have his hand in the pot a little bit. He's not making the end of the day decisions though.
I think
He is not doing that. But he wants the best for your team. He's not like, I want money from it. He's like, I want to win championships.
Is he too
Right.
loyal? Is he too loyal though?
He
I was
might
gonna
be.
say, like, the thing too is like maybe the Hawks are still fucking making money. They're still selling out games. Like, there's no point in changing the GM if there's nothing going on a downturn monetarily. Like,
Yeah, but then it's the same thing that's being like when I was at the game on Wednesday, like no one's in the 100 level. No one. Like it's packed, but
yeah,
it's not. That's not a sold out crowd. You know, like you
Well,
see it on
that's
TV, you're like,
sold.
that's maybe 75 to 80% sold. Like people
The tickets
actually
are
going and
sold.
attending the
The
game.
tickets are
Sold,
sold.
it's 100%, but attendance is different than sold. So they
It's a
count.
sold out
atten-
crowd.
I know, but it's been like that for the last 2 years. The last 2
Yeah.
to 3 years, they have just been a team that they sell out every game, but no one's in like at least 15% of those seats. And
That's
it's very
true.
sad to see because like you see a whole box that's empty or several boxes in a row.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
but
like
that's
those
not,
people
that's
are
not
at
their
every
fault.
game.
Those are like on companies though, because like companies are the ones that are buying those fucking seats. And then
Yeah, but no one. If I'm visiting someone and someone gives me free tickets, I'll be like, I'd rather just go downtown. Like if I'm a business guy, like, and I'm not interested in hockey and the Hawks suck, I'm not gonna go. But if they are good, I'm gonna go. It's
yeah.
but it's that fake sellout that we always talk that like every sports team talks about.
Yeah.
Like the Cubs sold out for how many years and they were dog shit.
Dude,
And you
the
look at
St. Louis
bleachers, and then bleachers
Cardinals.
are 50% full. And you're like, no one's in the bleachers. And they're like, yeah, but people buy tickets and they have season tickets. Like because they're holding out till when you're good. That's it. They're just holding on to tickets until you're good again. Like right now, they're not selling out those tickets because they don't even care about the loss of like not going to the game and not having someone buy those tickets.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at. Like they need to start being good,
yeah.
and you'll see that place packed again, wall to wall.
I
Yeah.
just kind of like the Hawks. If the cap goes up as much as they're saying it's supposed to go up, like what 7.5, 8 million is the potential on the high end. Is do you want to give somebody that's on their last, like possibly their last opportunity, free range to that much cap space that the Hawks are going to possibly have to potentially just completely fuck us? If you need, I mean, it seems like it would be the ideal time to bring a fresh set of eyes in. You got some room to work with. You're able to move some stuff around to get this team to where you need it to be or where it needs to be. That's my concern. I mean, it's not going to happen. I know what I say does not hold anything because I'm not a Bowman guy. But I just still think that if there's any time to bring in a new set of eyes to bring this team back to a playoff contender, now would be the time to do it when the cap is going to go up and they're going to have space to work with.
Peter Chiarelli. Just so we can redo the Kajula for Manning trade.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I think that thought is like it's kind of unfair just now with the whole situation. You can't, even if the Hawks, like say you come back and we do like some weird crazy end of the season and they win the Stanley Cup, are people really going to go like, yeah, Stan Bowman and John McDonough and all those, their whole front office, they did that? You're like, no, it was because it was some crazy situation where some team that wasn't supposed to make the playoffs makes the playoffs, wins the Stanley Cup. You can't say it on the other side, though. Like now you have no justification for firing them because they didn't have a chance to actually make the playoffs. So you have to keep it like you're locked in for next year. That's the first thing you say is like, they're in for next year. No matter what, they're in for next year.
They did have the chance to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, but like statistically they did, but did everyone feel that? Do you think that they felt that they were going to make the playoffs?
I mean, if you're talking about having Stan Bowman's job be on the line or not, and you can't say, because of the weird situation. I mean, technically going into the season, he had the opportunity to do it. He had the opportunity to make the moves that needed to get done to get them to that playoff contention. And
he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. But now it's all hearsay because of coronavirus kicking. Yeah, which sucks because I honestly think that if they didn't make the playoffs this year, that those moves would have been justifiable, and then people wouldn't have been as mad, or they would have been extremely happy. Like probably all three of us, and everybody else that's like a diehard, like they would have liked it. Like let's get a change of pace. We still got the great players that we have. Why not?
I'm just worried about like a Wild situation, like was it like Paul Fenton? Is that what it was? Like over the offseason? Like they had him stay as the GM, complete the draft, do the free agency, and then they were like, all right, no, you gotta you're gone. And it's just like that's not something you're supposed to do. Like you should have gotten rid of him before that, because like now you have a GM coming in with like they have to deal with all the choices that were made that could have been prevented.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's exactly what
before, when there's been no hockey played. It's like if you want to bring in a new GM, you got to do it at a time that they can actually make more decisions. Like, which is the problem with like when you bring in a coach, like you fired fucking Quenneville at one point when there was like they're on a downturn, and then like expect Colleton to pick up the pace, and it's like there's a lot of fucking turnover time there. Like it's fucking difficult.
Same thing with like Ray Shero out of New Jersey. They let him trade Taylor Hall, their player, to get. We were supposed to get this huge haul. No pun intended. This huge haul for him.
First of all, those are spelled differently. You know that, right?
I know it, but still, haul. I know it's not spelled differently, but shut up.
It's like the old Hall and Hall.
I know.
They weren't even
I'm on a
there
fucking roll, Tanner. Let me goddamn be. You son of a bitch. But like this guy that they're expecting this huge haul for being a top tier player, and I think everybody that knows hockey was like, wow, New Jersey got fucked on that.
I mean,
and then
they started winning games. So
well, I know, but I'm just saying though, like what they got back for was nowhere near what it should have been. So and then they were like, okay, well, fine, you're fucking fired now. Like,
yeah.
It just seems like when your team is in a situation where something's got to change, and there needs to be a culture change, there needs to be just like a completely fresh start. You need to make that move sooner than later, and committing another year to this, especially when there is that opportunity for that culture change to happen. I think it was just probably irresponsible for Wirtz to announce that, especially now, like you said, especially the situation we're in now. I don't think he should have said what he said. He should have kept that to his chest and waited till we know what was going on with the season and what was actually going to be happening hockey-wise, and then come out and say it.
I think you have a point to say that he might be too loyal. In that sense, like, yeah, he wants to reassure these two guys that have been his friends for a decade or over.
I mean,
and he's worked with for how long? Like, hey, I want to make sure you and your family are set. That could be a thought about it. He's just too loyal, and just like it's not like Stan Bowman's gonna get fired and not ever find a job. Like, he's gonna find a job.
Daddy, give me a new job.
Yeah, exactly. Like Colleton, I think Colleton you keep. Why not? Like,
I like Colleton.
He's produced everywhere he's gone.
Yeah.
In Europe, and then when he came over here to the AHL, he brought a shit team to pretty good for 2 seasons, and then came in for Q when he left, and he just got thrown into a shitty situation. Like, he's just an inexperienced coach, and now I think like he's starting to figure it out, as well as like most of his players too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the like Bowman, McDonough, and like Wirtz situation almost reminds me of like the Edmonton Oilers, where it's like the old boys club, like
yeah,
where it's us against the world, and like we're making terrible decisions, but guess what? We're all in it together. Like, we're not gonna change. It's just like, yo, you need to get the fuck out of there, because that team is struggling. Like, I don't want it to become that. Except for, like, I mean, I don't know, like 4 or 5, like, first overalls in 6 years. Like, that doesn't sound
bad. Yeah. Doesn't sound bad until you have to trade half of them away for absolute nothing.
And then another legitimate concern too you got to think about is we're in the time where Kane and Taves only have up to potentially five legitimate,
max 5.
Yeah,
max 5.
I don't know if you've seen the graph of points per game that it's a graph on Reddit, and it has Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Evgeny Malkin, and Patrick Kane. And it has their points per game over the amount of games, and it shows the line of like their points per game. Kaner's is the only line that's continually going up, while players starts high and starts to go down. Fuck, man. I don't know. The math shows
How old
that
is Kaner?
Kaner's 30, 31. The math shows that by the time Kaner's 50, he's gonna probably be putting up like 3 points per game. So
So he finally hit puberty at 28.
the graph doesn't
And
lie.
he just kept going.
The graph doesn't lie, man. Like,
So they're both 31. So, okay, yeah. I mean, Kane was probably gonna be the player that he's gonna contribute until he's 40.
Kaner's gonna be
definitely-
the next Yager, I swear.
I wouldn't doubt it, but like at the same time, though, it's like you have to consider though that legitimate, true contender, top of their game, that they're going to be pacing the league. They got 5 to 6 years probably before it's like, I think in 5 or 6 years, you're going to see that. Now it's not going to go up anymore. It's going to slowly start going down.
Nope, that's
I
not
think-
how graphs work.
yeah.
That's not how graphs work. Also, I want to rephrase. Kaner's not the new Yager because Yager went to a million different teams. Kaner's going to end up being like the Joe Thornton, where like his contract will be like 1 year at a time at some point, and it will always be with the Blackhawks. It'll just be like,
But Joe
keep
Thornton
bringing
played
it
in
back.
Boston.
Doesn't matter, huh?
No, but
Joe
Joe
Thornton Joe Thornton played in Boston.
I know, but like,
So that means Kaner's leaving.
no, Kaner would have
Fucked
left
it up.
No, Kaner would've left us. I'm saying he's
Yeah, he's
gonna
gonna go to Buffalo for a
Very
season and rack up 150 points, and they're still gonna be the bottom of the league. That's what's gonna happen 7 years from now, though. That's what's gonna happen. I'm calling it right now.
Who do you think out of Taves and Kane, who do you think is more likely to go play for their hometown team?
Oh, fuck.
Taves.
You think
Taves by far.
Taves?
Taves by far. Well, because
Nobody wants to be in Buffalo.
nobody's
I don't know.
ever wanted to be in Buffalo. No, like in the past 25 years, who's ever wanted to be in Buffalo?
Also,
I don't know. Kane gets away with a lot in Buffalo.
well, no. If any player, I think if
They
any
wouldn't
player
take him.
was to be like, this is what I want, the team would probably give it to Kane because Kane is like becoming more of like the steady franchise face as Taves is like been the franchise face, but like Kaner's like the show,
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like, but I don't think either of
That's
them
weird.
leave at all.
No, I don't think they would. I'm just curious. I've always been curious to see what people thought because I always thought Taves would be here, a lifelong Hawk, and I could totally
I
see
think they
Kaner
both are.
going to Buffalo. Yeah, I think they both are. I was just always curious what you guys thought. That's all.
I think you trade away Taves, or like one of two things. He could either like you trade him away, or he asks for it. Like, hey, like things might get sour.
He's like
or
3 years
he's
ago,
that guy.
like,
He's
I would
that guy
trade
that
Taves
stays with
for
the Hawks
Shifley.
and just keeps getting his contract diminished every single year. Like he ends up being like what Joe Thornton has been doing in San Jose. Like every year he could leave, but he keeps re-signing these
Back to
two-year
real quick.
deals.
Back to the Corona stuff. Did you see? Who was it? Pierre LeBron talk about. He was like, "Yeah, I touched Joe Thornton just to see, if this is it. Is he done?" And he goes, "No, man, I got 4 or 5 more years in me."
Dude, he looked bad though. At that
Yeah.
game, he looked slow. Like he can still make plays, but his feet are just
Yeah, he's gonna be a
Not
third,
there.
fourth liner that's on the first power play and just like is the one that feeds everybody.
He's gonna go to a cup
It's one of his
team.
bifocals, and
He's gonna go to a cup team, and he's just gonna play the minimum just to get on the cup. That's all it's gonna be for him.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
it should be.
well.
Yeah,
Look what Spezza. What happened to Spezza when he tried to do
yeah.
that?
The first goal of the year for the Toronto Maple Leafs, didn't he?
No,
Oh yeah, he got
you got the
got
health
benched
bomb.
that game.
Yeah,
he was a health bomb, yeah. And then the first was it the home opener too? He said too.
home opener against Ottawa, and he got fucking health bombed.
So I was wrong. So
Yeah, that because that was like everybody. That was when everybody wanted Babcock's head.
all right, hold on. We're still on Hawks talk. I just wanted to bring this up real quick.
Yeah.
I thought of a nickname for Dominic Kubilak. Let me know if you like it.
Oh God.
We just call him. We call him Kubistank.
Oh my God. You
That
need a
is so
fucking job.
That is so stupid, but I like it.
I was like, yo, fucking Kubistank with 30.
Oh my God.
Oh
Rafi
man,
me from the league. Jukebox putting $7 worth of Cuba stank.
All I'm thinking is like Twitter profile is just like a Finnish flag, but with the Hoobastank like infinity logo in the middle. Like that's instead of the cross or whatever it is.
Yeah, man.
I like that, Tanner.
What would be Finnish flag? He's like Czech.
He's Czech.
Czech flag. Yeah, I know. See, I'm not even good at geography today either. Geography, math, I'm not good at anything today.
Lay off the juice. Yeah, man. Kubilak, there you go. You guys take that, run with it.
So Tanner's got his new fantasy name for next year.
That's fucking right.
Remember before Chelsea Dagger came? Every Hawks player had like a song. Like every time Kane would score, it was "Rock Me Like a Hurricane," and then Sharp was "Sharp Dressed Man." Yeah, Hoobastank "Crawling in the Dark" is for Kubilak.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
I think he picks the reason, just really bring the crowd down and chill.
Jesus.
You did this, Tanner.
I don't know about it. I think it's a good name.
Oh, man.
When's the next Hoobastank show?
I don't think that's words have ever been said before.
All right, that's the end of Hawks talk, right?
Yeah, is there anything?
I don't think so.
Unless you guys want to try and go through like a list of like what the players' nicknames should be.
I think you should.
Because I really don't want to do that. I don't want to think about it on the spot.
Yeah. Other than that, there's not really much going on. Corona sucks, man.
Yeah, dude, Modelo's better. Sure, that joke hasn't been made at all in the past fucking 4 months.
I was calling it. I was going into work and going like, "Yo, guys, I got that Tecate virus because I'm cheap."
Kevin, go home.
Aww.
All right, Jarom, what do we got next?
All right, so we got an announcement we can do about a little bit of winner for a social media thing we're doing, or we can go to Meegan's Corner. But I don't know if we want to give Meegan his own corner right now.
Why? Why not? Why not? It's probably better now than later.
I don't even know what it's about, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go. Okay, fine. Meegan's Corner.
All right. So it's not hockey related.
It's Meegan's Corner. Meegan's Corner. Having some beers because coronavirus sucked. It's Meegan's Corner.
Thanks, Tanner, for that introduction. So it's nothing to do with hockey. It is only to do with what I'm seeing on TV. There was people at the fucking beach today in Florida. There are people at the beach in Florida, like droves of people, and they had to shut down the beaches and put cops there because idiots were like, "This is my spring break. I need to celebrate." It's like, yo, you dummies, you're out of college, like for the foreseeable future. Your semester's over. You don't need to relax for shit. Like, think about getting a job when you move back into your parents' place. Meegan's Corner. Let's discuss.
Yeah, man, I saw this shit too. It was hilarious. All of the kids were fucking shit-faced in that video too. Like, yeah, they all. It was bad. Why did all of their faces were so red, and I wasn't sure if it was because they fell or it was because they forgot to put fucking sunscreen on. They got like in a fight with the fucking sun for some reason. Like, it's stupid.
One girl was literally like standing next to a guy and she was like, "I don't think it's fair that like we work so hard all year and then Corona comes and also we're not very susceptible to it." And then literally the next thing I see on the news is just like, "Hey, if you're under 60, you can still die." Like it was like, it's not the fact that you're like not 60, like you might die, like you're smoking vape pens and you have asthma. And you're probably going to die if you catch this. Like, please stop.
I don't know if I heard this right or not, but I think there's a solid chunk of the cases in Illinois are actually between the ages of like 20 and 45.
Yeah, my mom called me about it. She goes, and I was like, yeah, Ma, I know. I can read fucking stats.
Yeah, so
I don't remember numbers, but I know how to read them.
You can read stats, but you can't fucking do math. It's fine.
Can't do math, no.
Yeah, people
But
are fucking
that was
idiots.
Meegan's Corner.
Yeah.
Like, just stay inside. Go to the grocery store. Walk your dog.
Two weeks at least. Like no one's going away. Your friends aren't going to disappear in 2 weeks. The beaches aren't going to disappear in 2 weeks. The fucking restaurants, bars, all shit's not going to disappear in 2 weeks.
Yeah, they are. They have nobody to work there. You fucking.
They'll be back. They will be back. I'm saying they will be
Tanner,
back.
You're just laid off, all right? You're just laid off. It's not you didn't get fired for Corona. They're not like because Corona's around your fire. They said you're laid off. It's okay. When things start being normal, it's gonna be all right.
Things are gonna get back to normal, but it's not gonna get back to normal if you're fucking out there at the beach and at all these places just being fucking assholes. Like, come on. Like,
and I saw most of the stuff that I saw too was from hockey players that I used to work with when I worked in junior hockey, and they're like back home. They're like, "Yeah, go Wisco," and I'm like, "Isn't Madison on like lockdown? Like Madison, like they kicked everyone out of school like last week, and all these kids went up to Madison. We're at the bars, and these bars are like elbow to elbow. Like you cannot, like you're squished in there. I'm like, you guys are idiots. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like the whole entire nation is shutting down, and you're out at the bar like sharing drinks with people, like your little vape pods and everything. It's like I saw someone like share a vape pod at work, and I was like, nope, I'm going home. I'm not coming to work on Tuesday.
I'm done.
That's what I did on Monday. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay at home. You guys are
You
idiots.
take a Lysol container and you just go right in your fucking mouth. Like it's fucking mint spray.
Mint spray.
I don't know.
It smells like pine sol.
Wow. Oh wow.
All right, so that was Meegan Corner. Meegan coming strong with the hot takes.
Woo.
Trying to save this country.
Trying to.
He can't do math. He can't do math. He doesn't know what flags belong to what countries, but he can tell you to stay off the beaches.
Hey, I can be in the
He's
Canada
got a
right
plan.
now. Just get off the beaches. Just get off the beaches. All right.
All right, so since last Sunday, we on the Instagram page started a nice little, bracketology of the 32 greatest hockey movies, TV shows, TV show episodes, and somehow a fucking web series that was garbage snuck in there.
Don't worry about it.
So,
also, kids stuff.
yeah, kid stuff too. I mean, those are movies. And
Yeah,
stuff.
those are movies. Dude,
So-
HE double hockey sticks was like this shit when I was like a kid.
It's
Like,
not the whole entire movie's on YouTube.
Dude, that was like I was like, you guys put that on there? Thank God that someone remembered that movie was on
Yes.
there.
That is,
Such a good movie.
but so since Sunday we've been posting.
90s kids only.
Since Sunday, we've been posting up little votes on our Instagram story, and over the week, it's narrowed down. We had the final two today, or yesterday. Well, today when we're recording, yesterday when you're listening to this, it was a good one, a good battle, I thought, between Miracle and Slapshot. I thought that I knew the winner was obvious, but over the 5-day voting period, we had over 1,000 people vote on this. So thank you very much for that. That's awesome. Appreciate you guys enjoy doing this. But the winner of the inaugural WCB podcast bracket challenge is Miracle. I mean,
Do you believe in miracles?
Do you believe in it?
yeah.
This is your time, Miracle. This is your time.
Miracle.
Oh, actually, talking about that, I think I saw like a little clip of like a kid that was in his locker room. And
Yes.
Miracle speech.
Yeah, I did see that. That was great.
The intensity's not there for me.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. But Miracle just not the underdogs this year. They went in. They had, I think, up until the final round, only 3 votes against them, and then the final round they got 8 against. So, congratulations to the greatest hockey story of all time. And okay,
Honestly, I'll say this about the bracket. I'm surprised that Ice Guardians got that far. I will. I thought Red Army beat them.
Red Army was so good. That's what thing
Such
is.
a good movie.
I didn't know if people have seen a lot of these movies.
Dude, Ice Guardians was my shit though.
Ice Guardians was amazing. Both that one and then There's another like fighting movie that was on there, and I was like,
Last
wow, like,
Gladiators.
The Last Gladiators, like
Yeah.
both of those outstanding movies. The Red Army one was awesome.
I had a little bit of bias
Mission
to Red.
5 was so sweet.
Yeah.
Like all those movies are great, and also, yeah, we kind of knew Miracle was gonna win. I mean,
Yeah.
was-
I had a little bit of bias for Red Army, so I was a little upset it didn't go farther, just because
Yeah.
I actually got to interview the director of it.
oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah.
Ooh.
But anyway,
I have nothing to do during the coronavirus thing but drink. So like, just leave me alone.
Dude, that's what I did. That's all I've been doing. I get out of work at 4:30. I'm making a drink at 3.
Shut up, work.
so I already have a bracket challenge, the
Yeah.
next run planned. I don't know if we're gonna start it right away. I think now that Tanner's got a little free time, maybe he can help me out with rankings on it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But should we tell him? Should we?
I'm full-time podcaster.
Should we break it? I mean, should we break the news of what it's gonna be, or should we wait till we have the bracket set?
I think we should break the news just in case there's anything we forgot that we can have ranked on there if everybody wants to input.
So the Nets bracket challenge is going to be hockey video games.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
Which
So-
I didn't think that there was enough of, but then like he sent me a list and I was like, yeah, God, okay.
I think we're at like 24-ish right now.
Yeah.
So either we gotta
that,
make
that many.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
either,
What was the first one to use the sticks? Was it 06
I
or
think
07?
that was 08.
07, the Ovechkin cover.
I think it was 07. That was the
Ovechkin
first
was
one I bought.
07?
Yeah, that was like the first one that I like.
It was
bought
Eric
on
Staal.
system, whatever it was.
Eric Staal was 08, but I thought Ovechkin was the first one to use the skill stick.
Yeah, Ovechkin was the first one to use a skill stick, and then I think 09 was Dion Phaneuf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Yes,
about
it was.
We
I
can
have
even do a
everything.
bracket
Best
challenge.
NHL covers.
Yeah, we could do that
be
too,
the
like-
next bracket after.
The wackest fucking NHL cover. We should do like an fucking like worst game. Like everybody always wants to do like the best one. Like just fucking do an fucking one. Like what's the worst NHL video game that there was?
I think what's the worst hockey trend would be the best. Like that would be fun.
The worst
Oh
hockey
shit,
what?
Worst hockey trend.
I'm frozen.
No,
Yeah, I
you're
know.
good.
It's
He's the worst hockey trend, so I'm assuming like
Hello?
you're good.
yes.
I'm frozen. I'm frozen. I'm totally frozen. Can't. It says internet.
I can see.
Just keep talking. You're good. Just keep talking.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, like worst hockey trend, like shitty Minnesota hockey hair. Like I'm tired of seeing those videos. You guys are overplaying it, right? Like let's have real cool hair. Like I want like Austin Matthews mustache. Shave that shit. That's dumb.
You're so against Pedro or Pablo. Sorry, Pablo. Who fuck? That's gonna.
Pablo, I'm so against Pablo. No, I'm just against like the hockey fads. Like I'll honestly go out and say I didn't think Miracle was the best hockey movie. I didn't. I thought Slapshot was gonna beat it by like far.
See, I
Better
thought that
hockey.
too, but I don't think a lot of the people voting have seen Slapshot. I think it's like our age group and young and older are the only ones that truly grew up watching Slapshot.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like my dad being like, "You have to watch this to be a hockey player," and I was like, "I don't." That's like from 30 years ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then somebody sent me a tweet because I tweeted out the bracket originally because I was going to try to do it on Twitter too, and he was like, "The fact that Goon and Young Blood are ranked higher than Mighty Ducks is an absolute disgrace." And I'm like, let's be honest. I want to put this out here now. Mighty Ducks is only good for the nostalgia feel of it.
True.
It is
100%.
those are trash movies. They are so bad, but they're so good, and that's what makes them so good.
Goon should have probably been top 8 for sure. Top 4. I would have put it top 4 because it's actually like a realistic hockey movie and it's based
Yeah.
on a good story of like what hockey's not just the NHL. Hockey's not just the KHL, NHL, the two biggest leagues, like any
Yeah.
other sport, but it's way deeper than that. Like the NFL has the NFL and the CFL and the Arena Football League. That's not
Yeah.
really that big of a story. Hockey, you can play professional hockey at so many levels across the entire world. It's awesome. It's like soccer. Like if someone made a soccer movie, you'd be like, "Oh, that's sweet. Like you're just a cheap soccer player who plays in Argentina for like the third league." Like that's what Goon felt like.
Yeah, one thing that I would fucking love is if someone were to make like a Friday Night Lights hockey show, but based on like Minnesota hockey, high school hockey.
That would be cool. That would be like a web series, like an Amazon series. You know what I mean?
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, congratulations to Miracle. Congratulations to the 1980 Olympic team. Of course, you win on your 40th anniversary year. So, somebody come on this podcast and let's talk during this this downtime. Let's go.
Either from the movie or from the team.
Yeah, either or. And if you have any video game and hockey, not in it, doesn't even have to be NHL, hockey video games that you think deserve to be in the top 32 bracket, send them to us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, comments on YouTube, anywhere you want to hit up. We'll go to our website, WCBenders.com. We got a page where you can send us comments. Fucking do it. Let's go.
I'm for NHL Rock the Rink. I don't know how many people play that, but that shit is fucking fire.
Yeah. Oh my God. So many good games. I think the last thing we got going on here, unless you have anything, Tanner?
Nah, dude, I got a lot of time on my hands.
All right. So the last thing is we're going to Roy was actually supposed to join us, but he got caught with work. So he's got a couple riding pine questions. So we're going to ride pine.
You're riding the pine pony, pal.
Yeah.
And
Burr.
yo, there we go. We missed that. So he's got 4 questions for us. First one I'll answer because it's a quick answer. He says, "Did Jarom get COD back yet?" Yes, I got it, so I am ready to be fucking terrible. Let's go. Second question. I will point this because we'll focus on the other two. Will Nolly ever play hockey again? Nolly's currently has to have hernia surgery. So at the rate of, the coronavirus, I guarantee you he is going to be set and ready to go by the time puck drops for the Nets Benders game.
There you go.
All right. So now this one's for you, Meegan. Ooh. Is Meegan playing hockey again post C-19?
Maybe if my ankle is good enough. Maybe I might just be a coach for here on out. Maybe the team mascot. But I put on the skates like a month ago, and it was not good. I put on the skates. I'm like, my ankle's fucked.
Did you skate or did you just put them on?
No, I just put them on in my house, and I like tried to just do like one movement, like left and right, and I was like, I need like a year of physical therapy for this.
Oh God,
that sounds awful. Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, I feel like I'm one ankle injury or it's like one decent injury away from just never playing again.
Sick, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, well, no, because I'm like,
sick.
You saying that totally. I'm just like, yeah, fuck that. Like,
it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun having an injury, but whatever.
So, and then his last question is kind of a follow-up on that. Will Meegan, Harris, and Nader ever play on a line again?
Oh, dude, that was the sweetest C-League line I've ever been on. Sweetest C-League line I've ever been on. We just crushed it. Like, I probably had like 40 assists, and I had 1 goal. Like, I just handed the puck off to Harris, and Roy would just be in front of the net every single day. All day, all day. It was awesome.
Beefy line.
Hopefully.
Roy has turned into the greatest men's league player ever. Like, he just has to be in front of the net, and boom, he gets them every time. Like, it blows our like. Yeah, it's so funny because everybody's like, "Oh no, he's not gonna do it." Oh well, shit, there's a goal. Like,
yep. Yeah, he's awesome. I love playing with Roy. He knows exactly where to be all the time, and I like skate really hard and don't score.
What was that, Tanner?
I was saying, is he like doing like a Joe Pavelski, or is he just put it in like a Thomas Holmstrom?
He's just not Pavelski. He doesn't have the tip like that, but
okay.
Like he's just right place, right time. Like that's
a Holmstrom. That's a Tomas Holmstrom.
Yeah,
like you're not gonna move him, and if there's nothing you can do, he's gonna just fucking score.
I'm sure he'll comment because I know he's gonna listen to this at this point. I'm sure he'll comment on this story. But there was a couple games ago that one of our Vito, he fucking throws the puck fucking heater every time. And I think Roy literally just had a stick on the ice. Vito tossed it, bounced off his stick, and goes in. Roy didn't move that arm at all. Nothing. Just just skating to the net, off the stick, and into the net. I'm just like, that's a fucking Roy. Like, that's Roy every time. Roy, I love you. I'm not talking shit.
It's like when you get like dad strength, he's just all of a sudden just got like beer league strength.
Yeah.
He comes out, he's a fucking stud. You're like, where'd those hands come from, Roy? He's like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty drunk right now.
Yeah. It came from 2 beers. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, there you go.
All right, Roy. Thanks for the questions. We will get you. Gotta get you on the show, especially with Meegan on. I feel like you two have some reconnecting to do.
Every time I text him like, oh, are you at Southwest? He's like, no, man, like I play on that team, but whatever. And then he'll like text me and be like for my team, he like subbed in for my team once, and he's like, hey, are you coming to your game tonight? I just found out I'm playing for Battle's team, like our buddy. And I'm like, no, man, I'm like in Boston and I don't have a fucking like ankle to skate on. I've been missing them every year for the past 5 years. Like I drop into a game and they'd be like, yo, Roy's on our team. And I'm like, wait, Roy's on the team? Like, you didn't tell me that. I'm here for one game, and the one game he's missed, I've been there for. So yeah, I really missed him.
So
tell me, he's got a shitty beard. Real
shitty beard. He's gonna listen to it. Tell him.
That's a shit beard, Roy. It's a real shit beard. Do better. You can do better. Groom that shit. It's so fucking. Second Meegans Corner. Fuck your beard, Roy.
Oh God.
All right. So on that note, thank you so much for listening to episode 94. The
Get this far, we got off the rails real hard.
Yeah. And you know what? Hopefully you enjoyed it, because I have a feeling this is what it's going to be like for the foreseeable future. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Check us our website out. Find everything out there, WCBenders.com.
Fucking friend me on PlayStation and Xbox, motherfuckers.
What's your Venmo?
WCBP_Tanner. Like, what up? Let's go.
So for Tanner, Meegan, and Jarom, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you boys on the next one.
Love you, boys.